How are we doing, guys? Welcome to another film. Right, tonight's mission, trying to get some badger shots. Now, this is not an area of expertise for me, believe me. Up until last week, I hadn't even photographed a badger in the wild, and it's been a steep learning curve, to say the least. So this permission that I'm on, I've had it for well over 12 months, but with all this, lockdown and what have you, I've not been down. Came down initially when I first got the permission, and I knew there was a lot of badger activity. Didn't see any, and I didn't do any watching for them because it was summertime, and this place is full of Himalayan balsam. It's a nightmare, and it must have been, I don't know, 8 foot tall. You could hardly see the set. Now, this time of year, obviously, the Himalayan balsam has only just started growing, so it's perfect at the moment. So, came down a couple of weeks ago, did a bit of watching, hoping that they were going to come out just before dark, just so that I could, be sure that there was badgers actually here. I could see there was, a lot of scrapings, a lot of marks. It was pretty obvious, really, bedding being dragged in there, ready for, hopefully mating. But I didn't see any. So what I did the other night, I decided to rig up a little continuous lighting system, just out of curiosity, really. I had no idea that whether it was going to work or not, and I couldn't lay my hand on it. Well, all I could lay my hand on were these. I've got these little Ulanzi LED panels. I use them when I'm vlogging. I use them in hides, just to cast a bit of light, and they're all right. They're pretty powerful. They give us 6 watts, so I wasn't sure whether it was going to work, to be honest. I've got 2 of these. I've only brought one with me though, because I'm going to tie the other one to there's a little elder tree. I'm going to tie that to. So it's just a cheap and nasty little lighting stand, but it does the job like a treat. And I was thinking, because they screw to the top of there, but there was no way of angling the light. So I've got these little tiny tripods with bendy legs. So I have 2 of them. All I've done, you see, I've just taped it on. And what it does, it just affords me a bit of movement. I can angle it down or up or wherever. So it's a bit Eve Robinson like, but I don't know. I reckon it'll work. It should do. We'll see, won't we? And then that one, what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to tie it to the tree and just angle it to, where I want it to be. Anyway, I set them up, and one particular spot where I knew there were quite a bit of activity, because what I'd done, I put a trail cam down. It's a massive set, this. There must be 20 holes. It's a proper excavation. Unbelievable, really. So I weren't sure where the, like the hot spots were. So I put the trail cam down, got some, pretty good footage, even got some footage of a fox. This is weird. Footage of a fox. I'll put it on now. You can see the fox trots along, and I don't know if it's a rabbit or a squirrel. It drops it off at the front of the set. It's almost like the badger had ordered it. Anyway, next thing, badger comes out, starts ripping this thing to bits. I'm sure it's a rabbit looking at it, but it was bizarre. I don't know, I've never heard of anything like that, to be honest, but I know if anyone else has, drop it in the comments. But it was interesting, so I'll put that in the blog. And anyway, so this particular spot, like I said, we set the continuous lighting system up the other night, put a few peanuts down, nothing too much, just a slack handful, and lo and behold, just after it had gone dark, they came out, and I got a couple of belting pictures. I were well suited. I'd not seen a badger for years, and I mean years and years, because they're so elusive. Unless you're really lucky, and you see them, really early in the morning or when you're out walking at night, unless you're looking for them or actively watching on a set, you're very, very seldom going to see a badger. They're a very shy animal, and you know, they're just hard to see. Anyway, to get the pictures are well suited. And came down last night, I thought, try again, put the same lighting system down. These have got a built-in battery on them, and I wasn't sure how long they were going to last. So what I did, I put a USB lead to a power bank, thinking that it would power them. Anyway, it doesn't work like that. Once that battery's gone, they just conk out, and then the power bank starts charging the battery up in here. So I was straight on Amazon, and I got myself a couple of, they're a larger LED panel. I'll show you them after. They're actually, I've got them on the set now, and they run straight off the power bank. There's no built-in battery, so we shouldn't have a problem. The power banks are massive anyway, so they'll light them all night, and they give off 10 watts, so they're nearly twice as powerful as these. You can alter the brightness, you know, you can knock it down to whatever percentage you want. So that's what we're hoping for tonight. We're using the same area. There's a couple of scrapings where the badgers have been digging, so I've just put a couple of, you know, little handfuls of peanuts in there, hoping that it's going to attract them out. We've got the camera set up on the video head. You know, we might get a bit of video footage hopefully. Just on the small tripod, I can drop the small tripod right down, and I'm just led prone here on this. I've put my photography blanket down, and we're just using our ghillie blanket just as a bit of a screen. So yeah, it's very addictive though, is this badger photography. It's so fantastic seeing them. They're amazing creatures, they really are, and yeah, it's just great to see them. So fingers crossed we'll get a bit of footage tonight, so stick with us. Brewing a fig. Another quarter of an hour, we'll turn lights on. How we doing, guys? We're on the final hurdle, I hope, of this Badger epic. This is the 7th night I've been down. Now we're winging it a bit here, to be honest, because the first night I thought we cracked it, because I had my little LED panels set up way up the hell. So them set up at the other end of the set. Well, it's not a set, it's more like a flipping citadel. It's massive. There must be 20 entrances to it, so I just don't know where they're coming out. Anyway, I focused my efforts down there after the trail cam footage, and the first night they came out on cue. I thought, we've cracked it here. Got a few pictures and a little bit of footage, and then the second night saw them again, not as good. And then the last 3 or 4 nights I've been down, bar last night, I hadn't seen anything, so it just went from good to worse. Last night I was sat over there, and I literally had one about 8 foot from my feet. It was unbelievable, and it didn't know I was there, but it was sniffing. You know, I was just led down with this ghillie blanket over me. It couldn't see me, but it was sniffing around. Then it got a bit of a whiff, and off it went. But nothing coming down to the continuous lighting setup. So tonight I'm trying the other side of the entrance, because when I was packing up I could see 3 sets of eyes watching me. When I had my head torch on, there were 3 sets of eyes. It were a bit eerie, to be honest, but I thought they must be coming out the other end of the set. So we're trying this end of the set. The wind direction's changed, so it's blowing in our favour. I've got my 2 LED panels up. I've dropped them down. I've dropped the intensity of the light down, probably 50%. So that's it. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it's not proving as easy as it looks, this Badger photography. They won't come out before it goes dark. I know a lot of people, they photograph and work on sets where they'll come out just as it's going dark, and you can get shots without lighting, and I don't want to use flash, so it's a challenge, to say the least. So it is. Hopefully we'll get some shots tonight. So we're shooting on the we're on 300 2.8, obviously, so we can get as much light in. We're on manual mode as well. I don't like using aperture priority or shutter priority in this situation. Don't be frightened of using manual mode. It kind of writes itself, to be honest, because when you think about it, in this low light situation, you're shooting at 2.8, you're shooting wide open. So that's set for you. You're going to have your minimum shutter speed that you can get away with. So, you can shoot Badgers at 90th of a second, no problem, even down to a 60th of a second. So I generally, 90th, and then it's just a case of setting your ISO to whatever is a decent image. Just keep taking a few test shots as it gets a bit darker, and just keep altering your ISO as it goes. It'd be better if we were on full frame with a crop sensor on the D500. Obviously, it's not as good as full frame, but hey, it's what we have, innit? So you make a do, don't you? But perfectly acceptable images at 4,000, 5,000 ISO. So hopefully we'll have some images to look at after. So stick with us. I better get my glove on, haven't I? Ooh. Well, I certainly didn't expect that tonight. Well, I thought we were going to get some badger pictures, and next thing, 4 little fox cubs pop out. So that's really surprised me, because this is literally, I don't know, 10 yards from where the other entrances are. So I'm really, whether they've come in off the field or not, I don't know, but I really thought that was the back end of the badger set. So who knows? But that'll do, because what's happened, one of my permanent lights has gone out, and I think one of the cubs might have bit through the wire, a little so and so. So yeah, it just went off. They were playing around it and jumping up at the tripod. So whether it's had a chew on it or pulled the lead out, I'm not sure. But we'll go and have a look in a minute. But yeah, that's it. We're going to call it a do on this video. I've put some hours in, I tell you. Over the last 7 nights, I've probably put, I don't know, maybe 30-35 hours in, and you know, it's I've not got some brilliant footage by any chance, but hey, it don't matter, does it? We've been out there and we've done it. That's why we do it. We love it, don't we? And I've had a great time. I mean, just seeing the badgers, you know, I've not seen a badger since I was a kid, and you know, to actually get a couple of half decent photos, I'm made up. So it's going to be the start of quite a big project. Is this? We're going to be coming back here quite a bit, and obviously we've got foxes here now as well, so we'll be doing a bit with them hopefully. So hey, that's it. Get yourself out there, have a do, write your own rule book. There is no rule book with wildlife photography. Just as long as the subject takes front seat, and you know, we don't disturb them or upset them, and you know, it's all about the subject in it. But hey, if you've enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, share it, you know the score, and we'll see you on the next one.